All right, welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm Coach Todd here in the STB locker room. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, we are talking about the brotherhood that you've been missing. Got Coach Denny hopping in. You good to go, Denny? What's up, Coach?
Hey, what's up? Feel
Running gunning
close and
today, huh?
personal. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, tonight we're going to
Absolutely.
talk about the brotherhood you've been missing. And before we get to that, let's make sure you introduce yourself in the chat. Say what's up, name, where you're from. Always love hearing that. Seeing the people that we're affecting all across the globe. And let's talk about our mission. All right, the STB Locker Room Community Mission: empowering men to reclaim their energy, confidence, and focus through sustainable systems, accountability, and a brotherhood of support, helping them dominate in fitness, family, finances, faith, and fun, and become the unstoppable leaders they were meant to be. So we're going to talk a lot about that tonight and what that mission does. Caleb from Missouri, what's up, buddy? Guys chasing kids all over the place, baseball season. What's up, Roger? Roger's in Nebraska. The foundation of the STB locker room: we live by code, do the work, win the day, be relentless. You cannot get results from work that you do not do, period. End of story. So dominates our word for 2025. Danny always likes throwing in the thing. He forgets to turn this thing down before he does it. That's all right.
We're good now. Sorry about that, boys.
So, the brotherhood you've been missing. Discover why lifetime access to the STB locker room community could be the turning point in your life. All right. So, the real struggle of men 40 plus, even some of you guys less than 40. We've got Brian's birthday's coming up. In fact, let's say, first of all, happy birthday to Jack. Happy birthday to Charlie. Both of them, both of our guys' birthday today. Congratulations. You made it another year. And you're dominating. So, fitness is just the surface. The cracks run deeper. Most men hit 40 and realize life isn't where they thought it would be, especially if you've had kids like when you were 20, like me. Danny didn't know what that was like. He had his first kid at 40, I think. Well, maybe a little before 40. The fatigue, the weight gain, the lack of direction, but also that disconnect from their families, stalled finances, distant faith, spiritual life, right? Maybe you're going to church every single Sunday because your wife makes you go, but you're sitting there thinking about the 5 million things you could be doing otherwise when you're at church, and not really being present. No joy, no fun, just existing. And worse, you think you're doing this all alone. You think you must be the only guy on the planet that this is going through. I can tell you, my 40s just turned 50. What's up, Ryan and Dana? You're not weak. You're not broken. You just haven't had the right team. And a lot of what we talk about is team, because most of us grew up in that environment. And
Yep.
honestly, that's who we're looking for in the community, is guys that, like myself, like Coach Denny, always participated on teams. In fact, teams were a lot of my family. Like, my coaches were father figures to me. I don't know about you, Coach.
Oh,
Right.
100%. More
I
more
mean,
so than
then
others.
right.
That's another discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. I had my dad was great, but I spent more time with my coaches than I did my dad.
Yeah.
Right. I spent more time with the guys on my team than I did with, my real brothers.
I
Right.
learned a lot of valuable life lessons from my coaches that were, they weren't my parents. They weren't friends that I knew prior, their dads or nothing like that. It was just guys who wanted to pour into other men. And, they helped shape and change my life for the better. And, what better way to give back, right?
Absolutely. So, the STB locker room community, it's the brotherhood built for men like you. Lifetime access to a movement of men who are building themselves from the ground up. We talk about a rebirth. Like, the old you has to die. and become someone new, right? Easter's coming up. If for those of you that understand or know the story, like you have to die. The old you has to die to become someone new. And if you're not willing to do that, like most of us hold on to a lot of that past stuff, right? You got to let it go. There's no judgment in here. There's no ego, just results, right? The only competition inside the locker room we have fun workouts of the week. Hey, it's for time, it's for this, but it's only against yourself. Can you be better than last time? Can you build on that? And we celebrate even the small little victories. That if you beat your workout of the week time by 5 seconds, man, awesome, right? And everything's built on our 5 pillars, which was in our um, mission. Fitness, I firmly believe it starts with if you're not taking care of your fitness, you cannot take care of your family or show up for your family the way that you want to. You cannot show up at your job or in your business the way you need to have the finances you need. You cannot show up with your faith because you don't have the energy, you don't have the body that God gave you to get all of everything out of life, right? And you just don't have as much fun, right? Without all of those lead to fun, right? And as a guy that hasn't drank for 20 years, people were like, do you ever have fun? I'm like, man, I have a ton of fun without drinking, believe it or not. Denny's, we've hung out a couple different times. We have a lot of fun without alcohol, right? Not not telling you not to drink, but just saying, like a lot of people always, that's one of the questions I have a lot is like, oh man, I bet you don't have any fun anymore. I have a ton of fun. And guess what? I wake up the next morning and do a workout because I feel awesome. Right? Most people are like dying. So you can be strong, disciplined, resilient, and still have fun and live fully. Right? I think so many times in my journey, Denny, and this may be true for you too. Um, I've started a workout plan, or I'd start a nutrition plan, or I would start a new business, and I was like, oh, is this really worth it? Like, I only live once, man. I could be out doing this, or I could be out doing that. Um, and it's just weird. The older I get, the more I'm like, man, I should have done some of those things instead of messed around and wasted time and that kind of stuff, right? So, um, I firmly believe I'm the strongest I've been in a while, even with the bad back I got. I'm more disciplined than I've ever been in my entire life, especially around fitness. Um, I'm resilient. I'm not like Denny's usually like, I don't know how you don't get pissed off at the world at some of the stuff that happens to me. And it's like, okay, let's just learn from it and move on. Right. And I think it's obviously comes with some age, but it also comes with just doing the reps, right?
Yeah.
You get better when you put the reps in,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Well, hindsight's also 2020, and yeah, of course, I mean, you don't want to live with regrets, but build into that fun portion. When we talk about the fitness, the family, the finance phase, and fun, build into that fun portion is, I mean, quite frankly, is it helps you keep a balance, right? So that's all we're really saying there is we need to get a good balance when it comes to all this. And I think a lot of, I'll be honest, I'll just shoot straight, and a lot of us guys, we forego that balance, and we'll put the struggles on ourselves, and we'll bury ourselves within different things and not talk to other guys about things. And that right there, that's definitely hurting us. So when you got an open community where you're not, afraid to share, the different things going on, it makes a big difference, because you get to unpack a lot of that you've just been carrying that baggage for so long. So yeah, so that fun portion is really helping you guys have some balance.
Absolutely. So why lifetime access matters. All right. So real transformation takes time and support. Okay. Programs end, motivation fades, life gets busy, but with lifetime access, you're never starting over. Okay, you always have coaching, accountability, brotherhood, new content, the support you need when life throws punches. Right? When you commit to the locker room, we commit to you for life. We're not going anywhere. I'm 50. Denny's 49. We've got sons that can take over this if need be, right? He's got a young one, so we can definitely have this going for a long time.
Well, in case in point, your life's not going to be 100% perfect all the time, even if you try and follow this. It will roller coaster a bit. So, why lifetime matters. You know, um, ask Kevin Peacock, right? He's in a situation right now where, he got down to phenomenal shape, and then boom, curveball hits, right? You know, so now he's got a bum wing that he's recuperating. And when he's done doing that, he can get back into his routine. As far as with the arm workouts and the leg workouts, to the best of his ability to where he was before. And without something like that, then you're just like, do you take those steps again? Or do you just sit back and be like, I can get to that. Well, I can promise you this. I know Kevin Peacock's going to crush, and I've already seen what he's been doing. He's already working at it so he can get back to where he wants to be. And I'm just using that as one example, right?
Hmm. Awesome. All right. So what you actually get, a complete evolving system, not a one-time program. Multiple things in there already. We will keep adding as we go along. Training systems tailored to busy men 40 plus, nutrition protocols that don't require counting every crumb, supplement strategies that support real results, live weekly Zooms for coaching and accountability, on demand replays and exclusive content. Okay. And so access to the private group with like minded men. You're not just buying a product, you're investing in a lifestyle. Okay. And it's one that we've got guys all over the country living, and it's awesome to be a part of. And I'm grateful every single day I get up and coach and post in the group and cheer other people on. We had a guy post this morning like, man, I slipped this weekend, I didn't get stuff done, but I'm back on the horse today. Right? It's awesome seeing like those learning moments of guys that would otherwise be going it alone, and he wouldn't have been back on the horse today.
Yeah.
you, you
And,
know
and you know why? Because you never, you don't want to fail for everybody else either. So sometimes when you quit on yourself, you don't want to quit on your brothers. And, that's a great example right there. It's just like, all right, you know what? I'm getting back on it. And, nothing makes you want to applaud more than when a guy does that, right?
yeah,
Takes
absolutely. But
ownership.
and this isn't for everyone, and that's by design. All right. You've tried quick fixes and they didn't work. You're tired of surface level fluff and BS fitness gimmicks. All right. You want to be a better man for yourself, your wife, your kids, your legacy. Right. The STB locker room isn't for everyone. It's for the few who are ready to become unstoppable.
Absolutely.
The work's not going to do itself. I think I said that earlier when we talked about the foundation of the locker room. Do the work, win the day, be relentless. You will get zero results from the work you didn't do, right? And it'll always just be what if, I could have. I'm going through that a little bit with my son who's playing football in Nebraska right now. He's just really struggling mentally with it. And it's like, just stick in it, just show up one more day, right? Just keep showing up because you're going to beat 90% of the people by just showing up every single day and giving everything you got. That's all you can do. Um, Here's some real results from real men. No models, no actors, just brothers who showed up and did the work. All right. Kevin's over there. Uh, Incredible transformation. Josh, Matt, Tom. And you can go to stblockerroom.com/summer shred. You're going to get everything inside the group for joining the summer shred. And you're going to get lifetime access to the app. All right. Which has everything in it that you need to succeed at a high level. So, what's your favorite transformation there, Denny?
I mean, I'll be honest, it's all of them. Like everybody, it's just like kids or anything else. For each individual, there's different reasons, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I can't pick one apart.
All right. So your call to action is get lifetime access to the Brotherhood. It starts now. We only have 25 spots. I'm only doing this for 25 guys, period. When they're gone, they're gone. So if you click the link and you sign up and it says can't process or whatever, they're all gone. All right. So you're going to join the STB 8-week summer shred at stblockerroom.com/summer-shred. You're going to unlock lifetime access to the locker room community. You're going to get all the tools, support, and coaching you need to become absolutely unstoppable. And you're going to lock in your transformation for this summer and the rest of your life. All right. So you weren't meant to do life alone. The locker room is waiting. So that's it. Quote of the week: you either step up or you get stepped on. I don't know who wrote it, but I love it. Step up or get stepped on. You get the choice, right? So um, once again, www.stblockerroom.com/summer shred. Get started. I want to thank you all for joining us. Thanks, Coach Denny, for coming in. This was a pretty quick one. We're 16 and a half
Good,
minutes.
good.
Let's have a phenomenal week. We'll be back here next Monday night. And remember, live by a code. Do the work, win the day, be relentless, and absolutely dominate. Let's bring it in, Denny.
Yeah,
Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
dominate.
God bless. Much love. Peace out.